All right. This is Tyrone Gathers Jr., your host of The Source of the Inkwell, live on KUAW, Knowledge, Understanding, and Wisdom. You can check out this broadcast and a number of broadcasts like this on several different modes. You can hit us up on KUAW.org. You can also go to the TuneIn app on your mobile device, type in KUAW Radio. You can also go to YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Periscope, YouTube, and Facebook, and type in KUAW Radio, and you'll be able to hear and see and personally interact with this broadcast. And you can also go to your Amazon device or your Google device and say, hey, play KUAW, and it'll play KUAW. You can also call 816-599-6893, or you can go to KUAW985@gmail.com to post any questions, comments, concerns, and or donations. Now, this edition is RMS Radio. This is a show brought to you, produced by, and starring students from Raytown Middle School. Your Ladies, how are you doing today? Or your Google device and say, hey, play KUAW, and then play KUAW. You can also call 816-59. Just a minute.
I'm doing good.
Okay, you know I'm doing well? Okay, so let me get a good look at you all real quick. Let me switch my screen here so I can see you all, so we can go around and do our introductions. If I can get that main screen so I can see. All right, let's start with my immediate right. No, probably not. So, Michaela, go ahead and start off and introduce yourself to everyone, please.
I'm Michaela, okay?
Okay, and slightly below, we have Haley.
I'm Haley Jacoby.
Okay, and to Haley's right, we have Miss Lexi.
My name is Lexi.
Okay, and below, last but certainly not least, we have...
I'm Patience Scared.
All right. Now, Haley and Lexi, I'm going to need you when you talk, you got to speak louder in your mics because, yeah, gotcha. Okay, so what we decided this week, we did something a little bit different. We have something called viewer mail. So what we did was we actually asked some students to submit questions for our panel to answer this week. So I went out and compiled a few pages of questions that your classmates, your peers, want you to ask on the air. And one particular student asked me a personal question. Well, not a personal question, but a question for our teacher to answer. So we're going to go through and answer all these questions for your classmates. Sound good? All right, excellent. Okay, so very first question I have, I'm going to flip through here. I have pages and pages of questions. The first question I have, and I'm not going to say the student's name because, you know, we don't do that here, but this student has the question for you that asked, how is Broadcast Club going? How is Broadcast Club going? I know it's slightly different, but we have a lot of different opinions here. So go ahead, Haley, and start us off.
I think I'm going pretty well. I did this last year too, and it was fun. It's a little different than last year, obviously, because we're doing this over Zoom and stuff, but it's still a lot of fun. So.
Okay. Anybody else want to ask this question? Go ahead, Michaela.
It's actually going like really good. I did last year too, but like I feel like I'm more comfortable on camera than I was last year because I know I was like really nervous. So
okay.
It's going pretty good.
Anybody else? How about some of the new people that just got on Broadcast Club? How's it going for you? I know it's a little bit different. You're not in the studio yet, but how's Broadcast Club working for you?
I personally think it's fun.
Can you speak a little bit louder, Lexi?
I think it's fun. I think it's like a new adventure for me.
Okay.
New opportunities.
And Patience?
I think it's fun. Also, it's like interesting. It's a new learning experience because I've never done anything like this before. So yeah, I think Broadcast Club.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Broadcast Club is a good organization or a good group to help students to get their voice out, because not too many students are able to, get their voice out and speak. So we are that voice for our school, and also it gives the kids in our building and also the community to see how we look in regards to reporting the news from our vantage point, from our scope. So also, as a matter of fact, we actually spoke to some other kids about Broadcast Club, and there will be some new students coming in, possibly or by our next meeting. So the group is actually growing. So you all are actually pulling in more individuals. So that's a good thing too. And also, we have some other organizations in the building that want to collaborate with us too. So that's also great as well. Okay, let's see. We have another question on here. It says, let me see. How is it to be on the radio? I know it kind of reflects how Broadcast Club is going, but it's slightly different because it's asking you, how do you like to be on the radio? So what's it like being on the radio? Go ahead, Haley, jump in.
It's a whole new experience being on the radio, knowing that what you're saying other people are saying. It's not face to face, but they can still kind of answer back, they can put in their input and stuff like that. I think it's very interesting.
Okay, good. Anybody else? What's it like being on radio? Well, Lexi, you're kind of new to this, so what's it like being on the radio for the first time?
I personally think it's a little nerve-wracking because one slip up and everyone sees you and everyone can hear you.
Okay, so yeah, you're right. It is it can be. You gotta stay on your toes. You gotta watch what you say, watch what you do, because I mean it's new. You've never actually had a conversation with a microphone in your face and cameras on you, so you gotta watch what you say and watch what you do. All right, go ahead, Michaela.
I agree with her. It can be really nerve-wracking, but I also like it because the viewers, they will give us their they will give us the not advice, well, kind of advice, but they'll give us can't think, but they're giving us advice, telling us what we can do better, and yeah.
Okay. That's always good. I mean, you get advice to, you're actually helping people out. I mean, you don't know how much this is for people to actually see someone their age actually doing something that's different and also providing a voice. Okay, Patience, what's it like for you?
I think it's fun because the first one, I kind of very nervous, and but I think it's better because you're talking and you can't see everybody who's watching, and so you can't be looking in the crowd and there's a bunch of people, so you can't get as nervous. So
okay,
but it's also but it I don't want to say nerve-wracking because both of them said that already. Mm-hmm. But yeah, basically that, because you can't see how many people is watching, and you always gotta watch what you say, mm-hmm. and it's just
yeah, you're right. You gotta watch what you say, watch what you do, because your life's in the fishbowl now. Yeah, so I mean, it's a good thing because when people are watching you and listening to what you're saying, you can put out that positive, so people can see the positive things that you all are doing, which is a lot of great stuff. All right, that was so far. You're on a roll. I mean, you guys are. I'm sorry, you young ladies are doing great. Okay, let's see. Let's look at some other ones. Now, with you being on the radio, sometimes people look at you as an authority, okay, or um, an expert, so to speak, on certain concepts. So one of your student, let's see. Oh, make sure I got this right. One of your students wants to know if you have any idea on when we will be able to go back to live school. Okay, I know you know. Go ahead, Lexi.
The school said maybe after
A
spring.
little bit loud, Lexi.
The school said maybe after spring break, but that's not a definite yes. We don't really know all of that type of information.
Okay, so Lexi said maybe. She said we don't know, but I mean they gave us a projected date, but we don't know. It could change. Okay. Well, you know, I sometimes think that Lexi's a board member. When she was in class, you would think the boss was in there with you. So I'm telling you, if anyone would know, Lexi would know. All right, thank you. Anybody else got an idea of when we might go back to school? Haley? Yeah.
I'm kind of hoping. I mean, it's like April is when like the predicted date, but I'm kind of hoping that maybe we'll be able to go a little like go back to school a little sooner, because I don't really want to have to get readjusted the last month of school. Cause
Yeah.
then like when we finally get back in like the roll of things and stuff, then the school year is over.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Yeah.
Stressful.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else got an idea when you think we might go back to school? Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's April, but that's all I've heard is April.
April. Yeah, I mean that was the correspondence was April. I know some neighboring school districts are already either in school or are they wanting to go back around March or something like that. So I don't know. I mean, it's like we said last time. You know, the virus determines whether or not we all go back or when we go back. If we go back, I would like for us to go back. Yeah, I mean, seriously, I mean, it's kind of lonely being in that classroom all by yourself, that old cold, lonely classroom. Yeah. Hmm. Okay. Let's see. It's got some good ones here. Speaking of, with us being at home, you know, not being able to come to school and being in-person learning, another question that was proposed was, what do you like most or least about virtual learning? What do you like most or least about virtual learning? Go ahead, Patience, jump in.
The thing that I like most about virtual learning is that when your class time is over, you don't really have to, because like if we was
Kind of cut out there, Patience. Yeah, you cut out. It's like you're muted.
basically do whatever you want in between classes, and like but like if we were in school, if we were in school, you can't really do anything. So, and the thing I like least about virtual school,
Okay.
yeah, I don't really dislike anything about virtual school.
Okay, so you don't like, okay, so you enjoy it. Is it safe to say?
Except for sometimes looking at the computer for a long time hurts my eyes.
Yes, it does. Yeah, I agree, because I got to wear glasses again. I don't like that. Got me looking like Samuel L. Jackson. All right. Okay. Anybody else, as far as, you know, what do you like most or least about virtual learning? Haley?
Well, I like Patience said that like in between classes I kind of have my own time. Like that's like nice. I can go like get some food or whatever, and I'm not stuck with just 4 minutes to get from one location to the next. But it's more stressful because like your what would be schoolwork becomes homework on top of homework that you already get. And if you're confused on things, like you can't get like the help that you might be able to get while you're in class during work time.
Okay, that's always good. Time, yeah. Lexi.
I like that we get more independent time. Like I can do my work on my own versus a teacher prompting or giving more instructions on what I need to do.
Yeah, that's one thing I do miss. I get that email. I'm done with my work, Mr. Gathers. I like that, and that's good because it's teaching you all to utilize differentiated instruction. That's good, and we talked about that in class where you were able to educate yourselves. So that's real good. Okay. Anybody else? What you like most? Okay, Michaela.
One thing I do like is the extended like hours because whenever you're in class, you get to like you don't have to work with the teachers, but you can like work by yourself, but they'll still be there just in case you like need help. Or whenever I'm in class and I'm working, I can just get the work done there instead of doing that as homework and later, you know?
Okay. So you able to get your work done. Good. Now, the thing, now I agree with you. The thing I like about the virtual piece is it does give people an opportunity to still be in class while we're not able to be all together. And also the way the schedules are made, it does give kids an opportunity to get work done. Thing I don't like about it is it sometimes can add more stress. For example, this sliver of gray hair right here that you see, that's from virtual learning. Seriously. And I've had Patience and Alexandria in class, and you all know when this whole technology thing first started, oh man, they were sitting back like, is this man gonna throw this computer out the window? and you all were very helpful. You took pity on the old man. You're like, okay, yeah, no, move that, click on that. So yeah, I mean, it's a blessing and a curse. And also, like for example, we had that snow day last week. We didn't miss school. No, we don't got to make it up. Nope. So that's a good thing. No more snow days. I like that. Cause that one year we all left and it was middle of June. I didn't like that. Because the next day, you had the last day of school, and the next day it was summer school. No, no. Mr. Gavin's got the vacation. All right, let's see. Let's see what else. Now, let's kind of keep the trend going with the whole piece here. Now, we talked about studying, and we talked about the longer classes and getting work done on your own. Now, another question that one of your classmates is proposing, as asking, is how can you study without distractions? Because, you're at home. It's like, you all mentioned that there's no one looming over your shoulder telling you what to do and when to do it. So how do we study without distractions? How can we get stuff done without being distracted? Michaela.
Well, I don't know about everyone else, but like whenever I'm working getting homework done, I like to put on my headphones and I like to listen to music, just so like I focus better. I don't know about everybody else, but that's what I do to distract like everything that's going on.
Okay, so headphones. Okay, now I know like Patience, when we're in class, you have your headphones on, and it's just me and you. I mean, I know it's been times where you have your siblings working behind you, whatnot. You don't even notice that they're there. I mean, you're like focused. So is that why you wear headphones to kind of help you to minimize distractions? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but I don't listen to music. Okay, because music, it kind of diverts my attention, and it's just like, does not help.
Okay. So sometimes music can be a distraction. I've noticed that too. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. What about you two, Haley and Alexandria, in regards to how do you study without distractions? Because both of you young ladies are great students as well too. Haley?
Well, I'm really not a very good studier.
Hmm.
I don't really know how to study. Um, so I just kind of like it's not studying, it's more just like try to like piece together what I can while I'm doing my work and then kind of hope that helps because I'm not very good at like keeping my attention like on something for long periods of time,
Hmm.
especially when it's stuff like work I already did. Like I already did this, why am I looking at it again? So, I mean, I do play music when I'm doing my work and stuff because it's kind of like it's an outside noise, so I don't hear like my dogs barking outside or something like that. So like just when I do my work, I try to stay as focused on that as I can, so I can like understand more what's going on.
Okay.
For me, I kind of like just write down the notes if I know I'm like not gonna be able to pay attention really good. But for the most part, I'm almost like Haley. I just kind of suck. I really suck in everything as the teacher is saying it, and my mind doesn't go back to it until it needs to.
Okay. Hmm. Those are some good techniques though that you all are having. So hopefully the student that asked that question is taking notes like you all said on what you all suggested in regards to minimizing distractions. Because I've seen a lot. And I've seen kids playing video games during class. I've seen one kid sleeping during class. I saw kids playing with their siblings. Now, I gotta give a shout out to one particular parent. I called the parent and asked him. I said, "Hey, um, your child's not in class." "Oh, he's not? Let me find out what's going on." Mom had a camera. She said, "Well, my son's on the computer." I said, "Well, your son's not in class." She made a phone call. Turns out the kid was doing something else, and the kid got back in class and was a little upset because he got busted. But I mean, that parent utilized the camera technique to help her keep her son on task. So there are so many different things we can do to help rule out certain distractions. I mean, I've seen almost everything. So I mean, literally, I'm like, wow, okay, we do that. But distractions are out there. The same distractions that you all have, adults do them too. I mean, as a teacher, there's been times where I've actually sat and was grading papers during an assignment. I was talking to another employee during an assignment. I even played checkers with someone during a meeting. Not during class time, but during a meeting. I know board member Lexi is looking at me like, "Mr. Gathers." Hey, I'm just putting it out there. Distractions are real, and we have to do things to keep us motivated and on task. Okay, let's see. Let's look at some fun stuff. Let's see. Let me scroll over here. As I'm scrolling. Not really scrolling, but flipping papers. Let's see. Here's a fun one. What is your favorite or least favorite after school activity or sport? So when you were in school, or now, what's your favorite or least favorite activity or sport, whether it's in school or outside of school? Lexi?
I would say my most favorite is playing basketball, but I can't really do that during COVID. And my least favorite would probably be me now, just sleeping.
Sleeping? Wow. It's very rare you meet a kid that don't like to sleep. Okay, you really are a a board member. You guys still make sure we're getting our work done, huh? Okay, cool. That's good. I mean, yeah. Now we had a basketball. I mean, now there were sports that were still going on during the pandemic. You didn't want to try out for the basketball team during the pandemic, Lexi?
No.
Okay, I got you. I got you. That's fair. Okay, anybody else? Most or least favorite activity? Go ahead, Haley.
Well, I mean, after school, like with or without the pandemic, I just would kind of watch TV, take a nap, like read whatever, which is the same stuff I'm doing now. And like the only like in school activity I really did last year was broadcast. So I mean, what I do hasn't changed much, but it's become like reading and like all of that I guess has become more fun to do over the like pandemic because I mean I haven't had time to do anything else. So yeah.
Okay. Good. Anybody else? Miss Rucker.
Okay, so my favorite actual activity in school would be drama.
Okay.
Now, virtually sleeping, I like to sleep. And I like so yeah.
Okay. And it's funny because Haley and Michaela are friends, and I know they're probably texting each other now and laughing and joking during this. So it's okay. See, Mr. Together's know what be going on. As Lexi's watching me, I'm watching y'all. It's okay. It's okay. You got something?
How'd you know it's together?
Hey, Mr. Together's knows. I've been doing this for a long time. Lexi, 83 years old, right? You know how Captain America was to the Avengers? I'm like that with teaching. They had to thaw me out to get up in the game. All right. Patience, what about you? What do you like to do?
My favorite after school activity, I like to cook or bake. Apparently, they're not the same thing. But I'm not that good at cooking. I'm really good at baking though, like homemade stuff. So that's my favorite after school activity.
Okay.
My least favorite after school activity is sports. Any sports.
Okay. Well,
yeah, I don't like sports. Except for swimming and volleyball. Yeah, those are. Yeah, I like those sports.
Okay, and we have those. That's cool. Now, you mentioned baking. Mr. Gethers loves a certain dessert. Lexi, what's that dessert Mr. Gethers loves to eat and talk about all the time?
You love to eat cinnamon rolls.
Mr. Gethers loves cinnamon rolls. So, patience, Mr. Gethers' birthday coming up in a few weeks. It would be nice if someone had baked a cinnamon roll. Can you bake a cinnamon roll? Okay. Yeah. All right. And speaking of activities, you know, we mentioned that kids spend so much time in front of that computer. You know, you got to stay active. And if you're going to spend time in front of the computer, let's do things that are a little bit different from the whole virtual learning piece. They have a lot of online activities such as Broadcast Club. And it's obvious that you all like Broadcast Club because you're here. Also, you have your drama club and a lot of organizations in our school building, and I'm also seeing across the surrounding areas, is that teachers are finding a way to convert their in-person clubs to virtual clubs, which is good because it still gives kids an opportunity to be involved. And also some schools are doing sports and other activities at a more socially distanced and safe, environment, close proximity environment. Now, I do want to plug that March 1st, Raytown Middle School will be starting their track season. So definitely be on the lookout for track and field. I'm one of the coaches, and, we are looking at possibly having as many kids out as possible in a safe environment. So if you all are watching this and you're either in the Raytown School District or other neighboring school districts, see what your schools are doing as far as sports and see if that goes along with how you all want to do things safely, and see what you can work out. Because I do know that over on the Kansas side, there are some schools that are starting to do that fall sports now. I don't know how they're going to do it in conjunction with the spring sports, but I know they're doing wrestling and football now. Football will be real interesting to see how they're going to do that with the temperature and stuff outside. So be on the lookout for that. Okay, let's see. Now, with the whole virtual piece, there are some positive things, like with the activities in the clubs, and then we have some things that are kind of tedious, some things that are kind of nerve-wracking, as Lexi said earlier. And one question that one of your classmates has is, what do you do if you're having tech issues? Like if you're on the computer and your computer's not working, you can't get in Zoom, your Google Classroom's not working. There are so many technical issues that go on with virtual learning. What are some good ways you can troubleshoot that? Or have you experienced it or anything? What have you done to get it fixed? Haley.
Well, I use my computer with just Wi-Fi because I have two other sisters, and sometimes my mom's working at home and all of that. So
Okay, Haley,
Wi-Fi
we
is
can barely hear you. Hold on real quick. Let's adjust you. Go
okay.
ahead. Better now.
Like this. Okay, so like I have two sisters, and my mom's at home sometimes working. So like Wi-Fi is being used a lot. So sometimes my Wi-Fi is just cutting out, or it won't let me join the Zoom. And so afterwards, I'll email the teacher. And I did learn that if you try to join, like if they let you in, like they do get like alerted when you join. So it helps with like me when I email them, like they also know that I tried to join, and then I will do the work afterwards, like to the best of my ability, so I not behind.
Okay. That's a good one. I mean, because we have a lot of kids who actually, like you said, have other siblings that share that bandwidth. Okay, Lexi?
I would I would try resetting your Chromebook or like powering off at night, which will help it like shut itself down. So then when you use it in the morning, during the day, it'll have less tech issues.
See, now not only is Lexi a board member, she's also a director of technology. Because I mean, as you can see, what she just said, that helped me out. She said, shut down that Chromebook at night, let it, reboot itself. Because I mean, like I said, she helped me out with tech stuff in class. I'm like, how does this work? And I see a message. You got to make a copy. And she's so polite with it. She'll send me like, Mr. Gathers, you got to do this. So yeah, so what you said was very, very, very noteworthy. Kids and adults too, shut your device off and let it, reboot and reset, power off, because sometimes you have kids that be on that thing all night, and then when they turn it on, it's not updating itself or the battery life is kaput. So yeah. Michaela, you had your hand up?
Usually, if I'm having like technical difficulties, I'll just email my teachers telling them that I try to get in and I can't get in, and then I'll just make up my work later when I can get in.
Okay.
Or I'll get a tutorial before we had our new schedule thing, I would get a tutorial time with the teacher so they could help me when I'm confused.
Okay. That's the most surefire way, is you having an issue with your school device, your Chromebook, shoot an email from your your parents' computer or from your phone, because your phone is a computer. Like I tell kids, that little email will save you. Hey, I'm trying to get in, I'm having an issue. And then more than likely your teacher will be like, okay, yeah, let's make it up another time, or your assignment is still on Google Classroom or whatever device that your school uses. Patience?
When I'm having trouble with my computer, I keep trying, and if it doesn't work, then you could try to open Zoom in like Google, or and if it still don't work, you could email your teacher, and then you could try getting in on a different device, because that's what I do because sometimes my computer shuts down for no reason, and it won't let me log in. So I get on a different device until my computer stops acting up.
Okay.
Yeah, and if that don't work, you just email your teacher, say you can be a little late, or not going to come at all. So yeah.
Yeah. Now we're answering viewer questions. Let's see if we have any questions on our Facebook live stream. See if we have anything. If anyone, any of your classmates or parents, I know some of your parents might be watching. If you are watching this, you are listening to my show, The Source of the Inkwell. However, my students, RMS Radio, is taking over today. This is their show, and they are answering viewer and listener questions. So we're going to see if we have any questions or anything on here from anyone that's listening in or watching. We have a lot of viewers clicking in and checking out. Yeah, so we're going to see if we have anything on here while we're pulling that up. And if you all are watching this, please share the video on Facebook Live. Please share it on
computer shuts down for no reason, and it won't let me log in.
Oh, okay. Might have, yeah, delete those 2 comments right there. Okay, so we don't have anything on the stream, but preferably, check us out on. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. Yeah, well, we have one from Scott. He's one of us. How many of you would like to do a broadcast? Good question. From someone that's listening in, they're asking you, how many of you would like to do broadcasts for a living? That means, like, when you grow up, you want to do this for pay. How many of you would love to do broadcasting for a living? Anybody? Or for another means of income? Like on the side. Like kind of what I do. Still do your main job, but you do broadcast on the side. Okay, well, no one's raising their hand. Oh, okay, Lexi. All right, cool. Now, if you had your own show, now keep in mind, the students in Broadcast Club on RMS Radio, they have an opportunity to win the Tania Blanks Award. And the Tania Blanks Award, a scholarship award, is named after Tania Blanks. Tania Blanks was one of our students, who was one of our first Broadcast Club students, who was no longer with us, and we named a scholarship after her, the Music and More Foundation and myself. And that scholarship gives the students an opportunity to have their own radio show paid for by the Music and More Foundation for 6 months. So, look like, well, I have a little delay on my end, but it looked like most of you rose your hands. So, if you have an opportunity to have your own show, what would you talk about on your own personal show? I got a delay on my end, Mr. Walker. See that live screen? Yeah, there we go. Okay, yeah, okay, Michaela, go ahead, start off. What would your show be about?
I would probably talk about like the news and stuff, what's like been going on, and like basically what the news will talk about, but like also not that,
Okay.
Yeah.
So a news show. I can see that. Because last time you brought it in hard, Michaela. Yeah, you did an excellent job starting us off. Yeah. She dusting them shoulders off. I got you. All right, Haley, go ahead. If you had your own show, what would your show be about?
I think I would probably do like debating like on both sides with like political stuff. Like I would myself have a side, but like I would kind of see like counter like counter others, like both sides, both political parties or all of them. I would like counteract, try to make both sides like think, to see maybe like the other person's point of view and all that.
Okay, so kind of having a bipartisan approach. Gotcha. Good. Lexi, I saw you had your hand up. Now, if you had your own show, what would your show topic be?
Oh, I didn't mean to raise my hand.
Oh, you didn't mean to. Okay. You want to sit back. Now, keep in mind, now, you can do more with broadcasting than just being on a microphone. There's a lot of behind-the-scenes work, too. Like, for example, Mr. Walker is doing the technical work, the engineering, which you all will be learning soon. Also, another aspect is producing. I have an executive producer on my show who is right now at home, or is probably watching right now, to make sure everything's flowing right, who's actually funding. You have underwriters who actually pay for shows. So there's so much you can do with this. So Lexi, with you being such a powerful presence, I can see you actually doing some behind the scenes work, like actually being a producer, saying this is how this should go, and if it don't go like that, it won't get paid. Yeah, you have people that do marketing who go out and find funding for shows, or direction, show direction, telling people how their show should actually go. And then what T-Baby does prior to us, she does a lot of vetting. She trains people to be on the radio. So you can be an actual trainer. So there's so much you can do besides being on the microphone. So, something to think about. Patience.
If I had my own show, I would do kids news. So it'd be like it'd be like news, but things kids would be interested in, like updates in the entertainment, new technology, and stuff like that.
Okay. Now, at one time on KUAW, we had a young lady, Miss Kennedy. Her show came on before mine. It was called Kennedy's Corner, and it was for 15 minutes. Kennedy was like, what, 6 years old when she started? 6 or 7 years old. So she was the youngest radio personality in the city. Now, guess what? You all are the youngest radio personalities in the city. So, yeah. Now, and with that, hopefully, if things work out, some of you, or not all of you, may be recipients of the Tania Blank Scholarship, and you may have your own show. So, good luck with that. So, I mean, last year, every one of them on there had their own show. Year before, I'm sorry, no, last year it was, we didn't award anybody last year because of the pandemic. Yeah, the pandemic halted that. Yeah, so this year might be a little bit different. Because I had my eye on a couple of you all. Yes, Michaela.
The coronavirus kind of rained in our grade whenever you was trying to give our awards out to who gets their own show. Yeah.
The virus came in there and said, nah, I get my own show. And the virus has been running wild with their own show. So we got to go ahead and cancel that show. Put some better quality out there. Okay, got another question for you. This is a good one. How do you stay away from drama in school and out of school? Ooh. Patience almost fell out. Lexi, go ahead and start us off with that. How do you stay away from drama in school and out of school?
I think when it comes to drama, you have to know who you surround yourself with and who your friend choices are. I think that's also how you stay out of a lot of drama.
Okay. So, watch who you hanging with. Watch who you rolling with. I got you. Anybody else? How do you stay away from that drama? Uh-oh, you lost Michaela.
You can stay away from drama by not talking to any students. Yeah.
Okay.
Just don't talk to any students. No drama.
Okay, so don't talk to nobody, no drama. All right. That'll work. Haley?
Lexi said just try to see who you're hanging around with, and I guess if it gets too toxic, too drama filled, then maybe reevaluate who it is you're hanging out with. I've had to do that a few times.
Okay.
So yeah, but it's not always the easiest, but listen to your parents or older siblings with the vibes they're giving off and all of that, because they do know some of the times when it comes to your friends.
Okay. I like how you said you got to reevaluate who you hang with. That's important. As an adult, we do that too. I mean, I've done that. And ooh, yeah, some individuals don't make the evaluation based on where you want to go in your life. Now, I think Zoom may have bumped out Michaela, so if you don't mind, Haley, kind of reach out to her and see what's going on with that. And while she's trying to get reconnect, go ahead, Haley.
She said it logged her out completely, but it's loading. She's trying to get.
Oh, still loading. Okay. While she's loading in, oh wait a minute, what's this? I see another question on here on Facebook. Do you guys get paid to do broadcasting? No, not right now. I'll go ahead and answer that one. But we do. But they do get some little incentives. So yes. But we're training these young ladies to eventually, when they get their own show, then whatever money that they bring in on their own show, yeah, it can go to them. Right, Mr. Walker? What they do? Yeah. So, when they get their own show on KUAW, yeah, whatever money that they bring in, it can go to them. So, yes. Okay, Wi-Fi is messed up. Okay, so while the Wi-Fi is getting fixed, so tell Michaela to keep trying to get in, and as soon as she pops up, we'll add her in. I'm going to go ahead and answer the question that a student gave to me. This student said, Mr. Gathers, I understand that you want me to give questions to my classmates, but I personally have a question I want to give to you on behalf of teachers. And this student says, Do you think that teachers can properly teach students virtually, or is it not effective? Wow, that's a deep. Oh, there she is. Do you think that teachers can properly teach students virtually, or is it not effective? Well, I'm going to go ahead and answer this question as effectively as I can. I think that virtual instruction is only effective as the teacher makes it. Now, there are going to be some hiccups. There are going to be some errors. There's going to be some problems. How you doing, Michaela? There's going to be some issues. However, how the teacher handles that determines how effective it can be. Now, there are 2 students who were actually in my classroom that actually saw where virtual instruction was hindering our usage. However, it was how I handled the situation. So personally, I feel, student, that it's up to your teacher to determine how it affects the learning process. I will say this on record, that any good teacher would want their students in the classroom. Any great teacher will utilize the advantages of virtual instruction to enhance their classroom lessons. So hopefully that did answer your question, because I personally feel that any good teacher will want their kids in the classroom. However, a great teacher will utilize this to enhance what they're doing. So I try to answer that as respectful as possible. But if you're asking my personal preference, I would like kids in the classroom, because I'm an interactive person. I think kids learn better in the classroom. I think the virtual piece just adds more to the learning process if it's used in conjunction with what's going on in the classroom. So hopefully I answered your question. Because I do know that, most of my students that I teach want to be back in the classroom. I would say about 97% want to be back in the classroom. Okay. Let's see, we have about 5 more minutes left. Let's see. I do have another question that kind of I wanted to ask you all. Here we go. Now, there are some kids who are wanting to know about schedules. Now, when you're in school, you're able to take your class schedule and say, hey, Mr. Gathers, what's up with my schedule? Something's not right. But virtually, it's a little bit different, because on a virtual schedule, you have Google Classroom codes, Zoom codes, and then sometimes there might be a little error with your schedule. So what can students do if they have a scheduling question? How can they go about getting that scheduling question fixed? Go ahead, Lexi.
I would say the best way to do that is just to email a teacher.
Email the teacher. Okay. Michaela?
Yeah, I'd say email teacher or counselor, because at the beginning of our new semester, I did have trouble. Like, my schedule was kind of messed up. So what I did is I just emailed the counselor teacher, and he had to rearrange my schedule to how it was supposed to be. Or some teachers wouldn't give me an invitation to the classroom, or they wouldn't send me the code. So I had to email my teacher and tell them I need the code.
Okay. Anybody else? What do you do if you have a scheduling issue? I mean, Lexi, she said email the teacher. Yeah. Okay, you all agree with that? Go ahead, Haley.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, find the counselor for your grade or whatever, and email them about that.
Okay. Find your counselor. Email your counselor. Good. And speaking of counselors, we want to shout out our counselor, Mrs. Kimberly Santana. She was just voted in as our Teacher of the Year for Raytown Middle School. So she is our candidate for Teacher of the Year at Raytown Middle. So congratulations to Ms. Santana, and thank you for what you do for us. And you see, look, go ahead, give it that applause, Patience. I see you out there. Yeah. So congratulations. Thank you. Yes, thank you for what you do for us. Now, we're about to go ahead and close out. One thing I do want to say is I want to thank Haley and Alexandria, Patience, and Michaela, and also our other members who were not able to come on to the show this evening. We want to thank you for coming in and being a participant of Broadcast Club. The show you all did today was very important because not only was this show produced by you, it was also produced by your peers too, because they gave you all questions for you all to answer. And we got through all questions, well, with the exception of about one or two. But one thing I do want to give out is one of your classmates said that it is very stressful. It is very stressful being in virtual school, virtual education. And it's not only stressful for the students, it's also stressful for the teachers as well too. And the best way to get through that stress is what you're doing right now. You all are communicating. You're giving people an opportunity to communicate and discuss their questions, comments, and concerns with individuals, and we're having that healthy dialogue. So if there's one thing that I want us to take away, a learning point from this is to communicate. If you have questions, ask, because we're in this together literally, and we need to get through this together. My name is Tyrone Gathers Jr., and I am teaming up with the wonderful, amazing, awesome RMS Radio to give you this great show. Because education is permanent like ink, let it overflow and let it stain. You will see me next week. You will see these young ladies in 2 weeks. We'll see you soon.